China's biggest annual political event, the National Two Sessions, is about to begin. All eyes on one major task, reviewing the draft outline of China's 15th five-year plan. For the world's second-largest economy, the five-year plan proves a time-tested, carefully calibrated governance tool, especially so now amid global headwinds and uncertainty. When China first introduced five-year plans in the early 1950s, roughly one-third of countries worldwide operated under central planning. Later on, while neoliberalism hardened into a global orthodoxy, China charted its own unique path. It continues to turn planning on paper into groundbreaking change across the board, even after the epoch-defining market reform. For nearly three-quarters of a century, China steers development through this five-year policy cycle, which has been central to the goal generations of Chinese have sought to achieve: modernization. The first modernization blueprint emerged more than 100 years ago. It was proposed by Sun Yat-sen, who helped end China's millennia-old imperial rule and sketched out a bold new vision for the ancient civilization. At the height of China's century of humiliation, however, that idea seemed forever out of reach. Yet, many of those once elusive dreams have become reality today, delivered through years of steady planning and execution. What was once a fantasy, building a dam on China's longest river, is now the world's largest hydropower project, harnessing the roaring Yangtze. The equally audacious idea of extending a railway to the roof of the world has become a real-life engineering marvel, threading the glacier-dotted Qinghai Tibet Plateau. Deep in far-flung mountains, the world's largest radio telescope listens for whispers from outer space. On the moon's far side, a Chinese rover made history with its first footprint and unveiled the uncharted terrains captivating humanity for thousands of years. Amid the new technological revolution, Chinese engineers are hitting all alphabets, turning AI, EVs, and UAVs into global sensations. It leaves the world wondering, when did China become this cool? These landmark achievements rest on far-sighted planning and the orchestration of resources spanning the entire country.
I prefer to call it a kind of a compass because it can help the country and also to help the government to control the development direction and also help the government to make a grand strategic plan and a kind of great design for how to manage the economy and how to make the social and the economic development very smooth and fast.
The five-year plan, to be deliberated at two sessions this year, carries even more weight. In 2021, China laid out a roadmap spanning three five-year plans to realize basic modernization by 2035. In the final sprint toward that long-aspired goal, the upcoming 15th iteration marks the critical midpoint. But it is not apt to be smooth sailing. Global governance is under strain from a predatory hegemon, and the world economy is losing steam as more countries turn aggressively protectionist. China, too, is grappling with inadequate demand, unfinished gear changing, and a shifting demographic landscape. However, China remains resolute in keeping its economic growth on track through the next five-year plan, prioritizing high-quality development, racing ahead in technological innovation, and deepening all-round reforms.
作为一个科技从业者，所以我关注的主要还是科技创新。像我们单位从事的这个卫星遥感领域，那么它的一些应用呢，现在在这个比如说我们的农业的智能化上面就有应用。希望这个“15+5”这个第15个5年这个规划期间啊，这个我们比如说像我们的商业卫星互联网能够这个初见成效啊，这是一个我期待。另外一个，比如说像在我们集成电路这个领域，希望这个在这个5年里，我们获得一些重大的一个技术突破，能够实现我们基本的这个高端的这一些 芯片能够实现自给自足。
Growth and innovation are vital, but the heart of true modernization lies not just in grand projects, it lies in people. An idea stands out in the recommendations for the 15th five-year plan: investing in human capital or investing in people. It echoes a longer evolution in China's planning philosophy, reflected in a subtle but telling shift in wording. Since 1981, the five-year plan has been framed not just an economic development plan, but as an economic and social development plan. This pivot signals a shift beyond growth for growth's sake. Today, China's planning agenda prioritizes building a society that enables people's all-around development, not just economic matrix. By the 12th five-year plan, social indicators made up nearly 90% of all measurable targets. The 13th five-year plan saw China rein in air pollution and eradicate absolute poverty. The 14th went a step further, setting no binding GDP target for the first time. Now, the expectation for the new plan runs higher.
As we all know, that China has developed very fast during the past 20 or 25 years, and we have achieved a lot of economic performance, and also which we have a make a bigger cake. But now we have to think about how to share the cake.
我就感觉啊，就是尤其15提出来投注于人这一块，让人的全面发展是未来助力这一老一小服务啊一个非常好的一个抓手。我觉得尤其是从14.5到15这个政策的落地啊，我用一个闪电式的落地，不是这5年计划，就是不是5年计划的完成一个什么节点，就是老百姓的事，就是在家庭当中，随着人口战略和老龄化社会的加剧，生活性服务业的这种发展，就国家对这个政策的出发非常的频率很高。
And that is only a glimpse of China's ambitions for the next 5 years. The country is also setting its sights on social progress, better lives for its people, a beautiful China, and stronger security guardrails across the board. In the end, the true test of modernization is how well it serves the people. China knows that achieving modernization is a long and arduous journey. What is kept on track is decades of continuous planning carried out through an institutionalized framework. This is where the two sessions come in. In 1964, a vision known as the Four Modernizations was presented to China's top legislature, the National People's Congress, setting the country's development trajectory for decades to come. And around the start of the reform and opening up in 1978, the annual meetings of the National People's Congress and the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference were, for the first time, referred to collectively as the two sessions. Since then, this regular, institutionalized forum has provided a predictable setting where modernization efforts are debated, refined, and ultimately codified, including the five-year plans. Over time, China's national planning has become increasingly meticulous, drawing on insights from a much broader range of voices. This has included public solicitation of ideas, nationwide experts' consultations, and even international contributions. The upcoming 15th five-year plan reflects an even more rigorous and refined approach. The drafting team was personally led by China's top leader and drew on the expertise of economists, scientists, and other professionals. Dozens of symposiums were held nationwide, complemented by online platforms that collected more than 3 million comments, over 1,500 of which were incorporated into the final draft.
5年规划的编制与实施，充分体现了中国特色社会主义民主政治的显著优势，将党的主张、国家意志和人民意愿有机地统一在一起。2025年8月，参加了全国政协14届常委会第13次会议，围绕实务文艺发展方面，就健全主题创作全链条引导机制，扶持青年艺术人才，构建数字化的传播矩阵， 培育文艺市场新业态，实施精品出海计划等5个方面提出思考和建议。
This year marks my 9th year as a member of the National CPPCC. I have consistently focused on optimizing the business environment and have submitted numerous proposals during my term. Notably, my recommendations on government process reengineering and system integration received a positive policy response from the authorities. I believe the 15th Five-Year Plan provides stronger support for China's participation into the global economic collaboration.
Every voice counts because it matters to each of the 1.4 billion Chinese, with the long-held goal of modernization now within reach. The upcoming 15th Five-Year Plan stands to carry forward the dream of past generations and shape the future for generations to come.